In a democratic market, it's easier to make money when you have money to start with. You skip all the intermediate steps, whether you're starting a business or investing, and then the people with the money create the systems of how the money flows. And these two ideas combined give us the common term, the rich get richer. Well, this is how I see the Buffalo Bills. When you already have a franchise quarterback, great wide receivers, the #1 defense in the league, a lot of things happen. Marquee free agents are going to want to sign with you, a la Von Miller and rumors of OBJ, but more importantly, in the draft. You can take risks on players with high upside, and you can be really picky on certain traits you want in players because they will fill a very specific role on an already very efficient offense or defense. And they aren't going to have to be the do-it-all main guy. These are guys like running back James Cook, cornerback Kaiir Elam, wide receiver Khalil Shakir, and even punter Matt Ariza. Maybe some of these guys won't start this year, while others will have huge day one impacts. But regardless, each and every one of these guys I mentioned that the Bills just drafted look really good in their first few preseason games. So in today's video, I want to highlight the team that has the best preseason odds to win the Super Bowl and have the preseason favorite to win MVP as well, and talk about their loaded rookie class and show you exactly how we have another brutal case of the rich getting richer. And let's start out with Kaiir Elam. And I even started to like him even more as a prospect when I saw his pre-draft interview where he brought in his notes of every game that he played at Florida, what he did well and what he thinks he can work on. And it'd be silly not to think that this mixed with his insane raw talents isn't why the Bills traded up in the draft to get him on their team. But let's check out his game because I could see him getting some serious playing time this year and being a massive contributor right away. So let's check out what he's been able to do in his first 2 games of preseason action. And right away, we're going to have some rookie-on-rookie action at the bottom of your screen. Kaiir Elam on Alec Pierce, Kaiir being in press man coverage, which he did a lot during this game. And just thinking about some routes that beats man coverage quickly, we think of a quick 9, we think of long drag routes across the field, and we think of the classic quick slant. Well, he experienced all of those during these games, and he beat them all. Let's check out how he did this. And on this first rep, Alec Pierce is going to be on the slant, and as this play goes on, Kaiir Elam plays perfect coverage. Alec Pierce doesn't do a great job pushing vertically, he just kind of gets into him, but he protects his inside, gets a hand on him, and when Pierce tries to get into him to cut to the inside, he puts both hands on him, knowing that he's still within his 3 yards of legal contact. He separates, being able to keep right on his hip, and as this ball is getting delivered, timing up perfectly to not get an interference call and break it up, and his team got hype. And there's a lot to get hype about because this is absolutely beautiful technique. Not the best on Alec Pierce trying to get separation for a quick slant, but he played this beautifully. And now looking to the top of your screen, he's playing press man again, or Deion Sanders likes to call cat coverage. I got this cat, you other 10 figure it out. But there's going to go for a fade route on this, and he's going to put it up. And could the receiver have caught this? Maybe, but this is absolutely blanketed, and if you're going to get a completion by a laying out, diving, one-handed catch on the sideline, where you may or may not be in bounds anyways, the defense will take that 10 times out of 10, and he showed beautiful technique and speed all on this play right here. And another cheeky way offenses will try and pick up first downs on 3rd and longs is these long drag routes across the field because it gives your receiver enough space to work the entire length of the field, and this usually creates enough separation when there's only man coverage. Well, not when you're playing Kaiir Elam. And that's really about all the action he saw in this game because like a good referee, a quiet game from a cornerback is a good game. And so when you see these next 2 plays at the bottom of your screen, he just doesn't look in his direction. He gets his 2nd round highly touted draft pick that runs a 4.3 something, not even looking in his direction when he has a rookie corner on him in press man coverage. And we look at the top of your screen, not even looking his direction. He has height advantage, probably a 40 time advantage, not even going that direction. But I want to highlight this play right here as well. Because here we have Kaiir on Michael Pittman, and they're going to do this long drag again, but he's not going to carry him all the way across the field. And this is what's so impressive to me, because there's a second receiver on this play, tight end Mo Alley Cox, going to be coming across the field. And this is why Kaiir Elam wanted the playbook on the plane as soon as he got drafted. This is preseason week 1, and as he sees this crossing route start to develop, look at the communication he has with the linebacker. Say, hey, passing him off to you, passing him off to you. Linebacker takes him. He's going to sit in the middle of the field, take away what Matt Ryan really wants to get away the safety on Mo Alley Cox situation, passes it off to the linebacker beautifully, and I can't tell you how impressive this is. Look right here, right away when they see the crossing route, passes it on. He's going to get right where Matt Ryan wants to go. And there is an interesting thing here, because what teams will do a lot, knowing that defenses do this, they'll show drag, and as soon as this communication happens, they'll leak up the field, and now you have more of a vertical route going against the linebacker. So the fact that Kaiir Elam's really able to stay in the middle of the field and kind of take away both those threats is just so beautiful. Matt Ryan really has nowhere to go with the ball. Just another great performance from Kaiir Elam. Now, I think Kaiir has the chance to be a starter and a regular in this Bills lineup, but I think Khalil Shakir has the potential to fit more of a role to be impactful when he sees the field. They obviously have Stephon Diggs, and Gabe Davis looks like he's taking another step, but Isaiah McKenzie has been turning heads all camp, and him, Jamison Crowder, and Khalil Shakir will be that 1-2-3 punch to replace the production that they're losing in Cole Beasley. And I think he's going to do a little bit of everything for this offense. Coming at the right side of your screen, number 10, being a part of the run blocking game, pushing his guy back, paving a way for Zach Moss, and instantly gets rewarded the very next play on a play action boot. And this is why I think it's important, because he can really do everything for this team. He's going to play on the outside like we see at the bottom of our screen. He's a much better contested catch, 50-50 jump ball guy. Even being slightly undersized, what we saw him do at Boise State was really impressive. But having depth at the wide receiver position is everything, especially for a contending team, especially when injuries can be so frequent at this position. He can plug and play and do almost everything for this offense. He has the knack for just finding open space and fitting in, getting it just like Cole Beasley did for this team. I think if Isaiah McKenzie goes down, if Jamison Crowder goes down, or if Khalil Shakir just proves to be the better of the three guys, then he can see a decent amount of playing time and be the huge plug and play guy for this Bills team all season long, and be a huge part of their success come late in the season. But moving on to our next guy, James Cook, running back for the Bills. His first preseason game, he had 3 carries for 5 yards, which doesn't sound all that good, but it's a little bit worse than you would think, because he left a lot of yards out there on the field. And even his first carry of his second game, I was still a little bit worried, but then he showed more of a skill set as the second game went on, and we still haven't even seen what he's actually best yet. But enough talking about it, let me show you what I'm talking about. And his first touch as a Bill probably should have been the touchdown if he'd read the hole correctly, but it's easier when you're slowing down, going frame by frame. But obviously, at the NFL level, you're expected to make reads, especially like these. This probably gives us a better angle. Watch number 8 as he cuts across the field, and he's going to cut the defensive end. Again, perfectly legal block, not illegal. Look how the defensive end gets out of the way, doesn't get hurt. But right here, you're seeing the setup. You see your lineman start to hedge this way, and then there's clearly a guy unblocked right here. There is a massive lane going this way, and this is what you're here to do. This is a huge lane. He's kicking out this way. He's kicking out this way. Run between the same colored jerseys and get in the end zone. And especially being known for being a one-cut back, this is really a cut I would like to see him make in the future and get his first touchdown in the NFL, essentially going to be a walk-in. And if you think I was being too picky or too harsh and maybe he didn't have enough time to make the cut, well, this is just a few plays later, and tell me where you think he should make the cut here. And if you said this big ass hole right here that you never ever see in a real NFL game, then you would be absolutely correct. For whatever reason, when he gets the handoff, he doesn't see this. I did believe this is where the play is designed, just how everyone's blocking this off. He tries to cut it out to the left and gets stuffed for 0 gains. So again, 3 rushing attempts for 5 yards doesn't really tell the whole story of how many yards he left on the field. And the same trend started to carry over into his second game too. I would really like to see him take this play and make a jump cut off to the left. When you see everyone flowing so hard, especially when you see the D end right here crashing in like that, take a jump cut, get to that second level, but he tries to go through traffic and doesn't even really read go through his blocks the best here anyways. So I was still a little bit worried when I was watching him go through his progressions. But he really just started to show off his skill set on plays like these, stretch it out to the outside, go between his numbers, break a tackle, get up the sideline, and again, going out to the left, making a cornerback miss in space. This is just what he does, but his best attribute is something we haven't even seen yet. Because I don't think they drafted him to start over Devin Singletary, but he has great hands out of the backfield, and I think he's going to be a great third down back for the Bills all season long and make the Bills' third down packages even scarier with what they can do. And Matt Ariza has officially been listed as the starting punter for the Bills this season. And if you want to talk about flipping the field, just check out this absolute bomb you've seen already, but it deserves to be watched again. He has this ability to do it so consistently, and I know this because I got to experience it live when I worked for SDSU on the football team. He is a beast and way underrated pickup to an element to the game. Pat McAfee is proud to call this guy the punt god. So this is just another classic example of the rich getting richer. Good teams always draft well. They continue to get new starters and depth all for cheap, which leads to them getting higher end free agents. And so what GM Brandon Beane and coach Sean McDermott have been able to do with this roster and this team has been so impressive. And that's why I wanted to highlight the new additions to the team. So when the season rolls around and we get to see 17 plus Bills games, don't be surprised if these guys are key contributors in their success moving forward. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like this video if you like videos like these. Make sure to comment down below what you think. And as always, make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. Thank you guys so much for watching. But that's all I have for you today. As always, I will see you all tomorrow. Peace!